has your mother inspired you in your personal life and your career?
My mother was very inspirational, and not just to me, but to a lot of my friends as well. She became almost like a surrogate mother to a lot of people I knew. And she really was a very wise woman. She survived a World War II as a prisoner of war in a Japanese concentration camp in Indonesia for 3.5 years. And having survived that, she decided that she wanted to go on and have a life. So she found a way to ultimately be able to forgive and move forward. And she used to tell me and my sisters that in life there would be challenges. And it didn't matter how big the challenge was, but your natural instinct would be to close off your heart and keep it to yourself. But if you could somehow open your heart, accept what had happened, and somehow reach out to help someone else, quite often from your unique perspective of having been through something that they shared, that purpose and ultimately love would come into your life. And that was the way we grew up. That was the way our friends, you know, responded very positive. My mother lived that way her whole life. And one day I was painting and I came up with this image of two hearts that connected, that both happened to be open. And I thought how wonderful it would be for me to have a necklace like that, and just to have something to touch and feel that would be kind of remind me that I had to keep my heart open in a lot of different circumstances as change would happen in life. And as we know, that is the story of life. It's all about change and how you handle it. And I wore it when I did Dancing with the Stars, a single necklace, and then the people from Kay Jewelers saw it and said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a great message, and I'll design you some jewelry, but the most important thing is to get this message out there." And it's just so exciting to me now because people really get it. People understand what it means, and we have a foundation, so we're able to raise money and awareness for various different charities and people who have opened their hearts.
That's wonderful. You know, you're a wonderful mother of 6 children. In what ways do you try and be an inspiration to them?
I think the best way to be an inspiration is not to tell them things and tell them what to do, but to let them find themselves, but at the same time hopefully walk the walk. So if you want them to behave nicely to people, be polite, work hard, have a passion for things, you know, make healthy choices, you've got to do it yourself. There's no amount of telling them. That doesn't work. And I think the other thing that's really important when you're a mother is always be available to listen, because people want to be heard, and people are very often not heard. And I think, you know, especially in this generation where everything's so quick, like next, 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 you know, there's not time to actually be able to listen to the silence between, you know, in a conversation, if that makes any sense to you. And I think it's really important to hear what other people have to say, to be heard and to listen well.
Absolutely. That's the only way to learn things.
Yeah.
And what is the Open Hearts Foundation, and what can you tell us about the Open Hearts Gala?
Well, the Open Hearts Foundation is a foundation that honors people who have opened their hearts and taken a challenge and used it as an opportunity to help others. And what we do is we highlight their story, their cause, and we also have a presenter that's usually well known to the public that also is in some way linked to that cause and that issue. And so really it's about the story more than anything, but the money that comes in goes to their charity. And then at the foundation this year we're going to have 3 honorees. We have a 16-year-old girl called Eileen who is a singer, a young singer, and she had open heart surgeries since she was born. Her most recent one was 8 months ago, sorry. And she started an organization called Beating Hearts and at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, and she goes and she helps kids who are going through what she went through. Paul Stanley, who's the lead singer from Kiss, was born with a bad ear physically and in terms of the way it worked, and needed surgery, and he decided he wanted to help with a group called Mending Kids, where these surgeons donate their time and for free of charge they do the surgeries that are necessary to mend these kids. And then last but not least, we found someone through our online search. We found so many, it was so hard to choose, but the lady we chose is Elle, and she was a foster kid. Her mother gave her up for adoption, or no, actually to the foster care system. and couldn't handle her anymore. And she went through a lot of foster homes. But at one time, she came across someone from Big Brothers Big Sisters who completely changed her life. And so we tell her story and how she's now not only a philanthropist and a public speaker, but also on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters in Ventura.
Well, thank you so much, Jane. Where can we go for more information?
You can go to openheartfoundation.org, and you can see what we've done in the past. We honored Glenn Campbell, Robin Roberts, and many, many more people. We always have at the event, which is going to be May 9th this year at my home in Malibu, we always have wonderful musicians who donate their time. This year we have Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol, which is going to be fantastic. And if you want to submit a story for us to read for the future, go to keepanopenheart.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jane. I really appreciate you're an inspiration to all of us. Have a great weekend and happy early Mother's Day.
Thank you.